By the time I pulled into my parents' driveway, the windows were already fogged with heat. That particular smell, roasting turkey and something sweet, leaked into the cold like a promise. I sat for a second longer than necessary, finishing my coffee, rehearsing the usual small graces I offered myself before going in. Don't expect too much, be useful. Stay light. I carried the pie inside with both hands. My sister's dog ran a small victory lap around my legs, nails ticking on the floor. Everyone was already seated. Plates clinked. The television murmured football like it always did, volume low enough to pretend it wasn't the main event. I stopped short. The table was full, not metaphorically. Literally. Every chair occupied. And there, at the end, where a folding chair usually appeared for me, because I was the one who lived alone, the one who could adapt, sat the dog. A placemat under him. A chair pushed in. My mother looked up mid-sentence and smiled. "Oh, hi, you're weighted." This was the part where someone noticed. Where a chair scraped back, or someone said, "Oh, shoot, we'll grab one." I stayed still long enough for the moment to ripen, and then spoil. "It's a little crowded this year," my mom said, glancing at the table as if it were weather. "But you can just, maybe stand for a bit. We're almost ready to serve." The dog licked gravy from his bowl. I didn't argue. That surprised me most. There was a version of me that had rehearsed a light joke, "Guess I'll eat in shifts," or a polite protest. But something inside me went quiet, like a room after a breaker flips. I set the pie down, then picked it up again. No one noticed. "I'll head out," I said, already turning. It came out even practiced. "Don't be like that," my sister said. "You're so sensitive." No one followed me to the door. Outside, the cold felt clean. I sat in my car and waited for the shaking to pass. It didn't arrive. Instead, there was a strange clarity, like realizing you've been reading the same paragraph for years without understanding it. At home, the pie stayed on the counter. I didn't text anyone. My phone buzzed anyway, my brother first, then my mom. Oversensitive. Dramatic. We didn't mean it like that. You know how holidays are. I made soup and ate it standing up out of habit. Then I opened my laptop. I didn't plan anything. I just started where my cursor landed. The grocery app first, paused my contribution, then canceled it entirely. The streaming services next. Click, confirm, done. The family account required a password I hadn't typed in a while. When the confirmation email arrived, it felt less like a statement and more like filing paperwork. Necessary. Mildly tedious. I went to bed early and slept badly, not from guilt exactly. From the effort of holding two truths at once, that I loved them, and that I had been placed, over time, just outside the circle of care. In the morning, my phone rang while I was brushing my teeth. My brother's name. I let it ring once, twice, then answered. "What did you do?" he asked. Not angry, alarmed. "I made changes," I said. "Mom's card got declined at the store. Costco won't let her check out. They said the account holder closed it." There it was. The external thing, finally visible. Not my feelings, not my tone. A cashier saying no, a screen refusing to proceed. "I closed it," I said. There was a pause, the sound of breathing through teeth. "You can't just..." Do you know how embarrassing that was? People were staring. The manager had to come over. I pictured my mother standing there, purse open, explaining nothing. The image hurt and steadied me at the same time. I wasn't given a seat. I said, "As a fact, that was nothing," he said. "You left over nothing." "I left because it wasn't nothing," I said. "And I stopped paying because it wasn't nothing?" Another pause. His voice changed then, not softer, but more careful. "So what, you're punishing everyone now?" "No," I said. "I'm opting out." He exhaled sharply. "You're really gonna do this over a chair?" "It wasn't about the chair," I said. I didn't elaborate. I didn't need to. The silence did some of the work for me. Later, my mother called. Her voice was small in a way that was unfamiliar. She didn't apologize. Not exactly. She talked about stress, about how hard it is to host, about the dog being anxious. She mentioned the embarrassment again, the scene at the register. Authority, embodied by a name tag and a rule, had intervened where words never had. "I didn't know you felt like that," she said finally. "I know," I said. After that, the calls slowed. The family adjusted. My sister started paying for her own groceries. My brother grumbled about subscriptions and then set them up himself. There were no dramatic confrontations, no ultimatums. Just a rebalancing that felt overdue and oddly quiet. Thanksgiving passed into December. No one invited me over. I didn't ask. When I thought about the table, I didn't picture the dog anymore. I pictured myself standing, holding a pie, realizing that leaving without a scene had been the first honest thing I'd done in years. Sometimes dignity looks like absence. Sometimes it looks like a canceled account and a locked door that was never meant to keep people out, only to remind them that entry is not automatic. I still don't know how this ends. Estrangement has a way of settling in slowly, like dust you don't notice until the light changes. But when I eat now, I sit down, every time.